Hi, I'm Minato. Welcome back. So at CES a few weeks ago, a 6'2" humanoid robot walked on stage. No backflips, no dancing. It just picked up a metal part and placed it on an assembly rack. Simple. But the room went silent because this wasn't a lab demo. This was a production-ready machine heading to real factory floors. CNET gave it Best Robot on the Spot. The robot is Atlas, and it's owned by Hyundai, the car company. Why is a Korean automaker at the center of the humanoid robot world? The surface answer: cars aren't making money, robots are hot. Global car makers averaged just 3.9% profit margin last quarter. Humanoid robots are growing at 40% per year. Money follows growth. Simple, but that's too shallow. If Hyundai just wanted robot exposure, they could have invested in a few startups. Instead, in 2020, they bought 80% of Boston Dynamics for $880 million. Then poured in another 3.28 trillion, won over 4 years. That's not financial investing. That's an all-in strategic bet. Here's what I think is really going on. There's a massive shift happening in hardware manufacturing. Value is moving from making things to making things move. Get that? And Hyundai's bet makes sense. Let me explain. Last quarter, carmakers hit 3.9% margins. Suppliers hit 6.4%. For 5 straight quarters now, suppliers have been more profitable than the carmakers. That's insane. For 20 years, it was the opposite. Carmakers controlled brands, dealerships, pricing. Suppliers were just suppliers. Now the sidekicks make more than the main characters. Why? The value capture point shifted. In the engine era, carmakers owned the key technology. Powertrain was their moat. Then, EVs killed the engine. Electric motors are simple, hard to differentiate. Value moved to batteries. Now CATL and LG have more power than most carmakers. And it's shifting again. As batteries commoditize, value moves to software. Chips, autonomous systems. NVIDIA, Qualcomm, Mobileye are capturing that. Carmakers are left holding the heaviest assets, biggest factories, most employees, but profits keep getting siphoned upstream. Harsh truth: car manufacturing is becoming high-end assembly. That's the real story behind 3.9% margins. Value creation has moved away from the assembly line, so Hyundai isn't running from cars. They're asking, where's the next value capture point? Think about it. A car is really just a form of mobility. 4 wheels moving people from A to B. Engine era, value was in generating power. Electric era, storing energy. Software era, perception and decision-making. What's next? Maybe general-purpose mobility. Not just roads, but any physical space. Factories, warehouses, hospitals, homes. Machines that can move through complex environments. That could be the next value peak. And that's what humanoid robots really are. Not a cooler robot, the ultimate form of general-purpose mobility. 2 legs, 2 arms, upright. That shape fits the world humans already built. Stairs, doors, tools. No environment changes needed. Now Hyundai's move clicks. Cars are wheeled mobility. They're number 3 globally at that. Atlas is bipedal mobility. Spot is quadruped. Stretch handles warehouses. Hyundai isn't betting on robots as a concept. They're betting on the next form of mobility, jumping from a value-leaking space to one where value isn't locked down yet. Quick technical note. In April 2024, Boston Dynamics retired their hydraulic Atlas for a fully electric version. That's not just an upgrade. Hydraulics are powerful, but heavy, loud, expensive to maintain. Electric is lighter, quieter, factory-ready. That transition was essential for commercialization, and commercial traction is happening. DHL deployed stretch robots in 2023. By May 2025, they ordered over 1,000 more. Boston Dynamics is finally moving from demos to real-scale deployment. Why can Hyundai specifically make this work? Building mobility machines at scale needs precision manufacturing, supply chain integration, global distribution. Car companies have all 3. Boston Dynamics has world-class tech, but never proved they can mass produce. Hyundai brings that last mile. Now, Toyota chose differently. In August 2025, Toyota Research partnered with Boston Dynamics on AI humanoids, but no equity purchase, asset-light approach. 2 strategies. Hyundai says, I'll define this market, takes integration risk for first-mover advantage. Toyota says, let it mature, stay flexible, control versus optionality. Too early to say who's right, but both see the same direction. Intelligent mobility is the next battleground. Now the risks, 3 big ones. Timing. Humanoid commercialization might take longer than expected. Atlas 2026 production is fully booked, but only a few thousand units. Hyundai targets 30,000 per year by 2028. Next 2 to 3 years are investment phase, not payoff. Profitability, Boston Dynamics is over 30 years old, world-class tech, but never turned a sustained profit. Google couldn't crack it. SoftBank couldn't. From 2022 to Q3 2025, they had 390 billion won revenue, but 1.38 trillion won in losses. DHL is a good sign, but break-even is still far off. Integration. Tech culture and manufacturing culture are very different. Boston Dynamics chases breakthroughs. Car manufacturing wants standardization and zero defects. Can they merge? Unproven. So, what do we take away? For investors, watch Atlas deployment numbers, Boston Dynamics, IPO progress, and order growth from customers like DHL. Those are your leading indicators. For business leaders, when margins keep shrinking, don't just ask how to cut costs. Ask whether the value capture point is leaving your part of the chain. If yes, efficiency only slows decline. You need to find where value is moving and whether you can reach it. 5 years from now, this deal will either be a textbook case of strategic foresight or a costly misstep. I don't know which, but the underlying question, where is value flowing in manufacturing? That's something everyone in the real economy needs to keep asking. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.